Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Two things, kick it right off. First, huge thank you to you. We have eclipsed 2,000 subscribers. Absolutely incredible. I am extremely humbled and appreciate your support as always. Second, huge shout out to Angry Panda, one of our very own top 1,500 in mono white snow aggro. We're all about this deck today for our episode of Top Deck. Now, I appreciate everyone tuning in. We are going to do something a little bit different. I will give some backstory on this deck, as well as some channel statistics, and then we'll dive into the strategy objective of the main board. We'll cover off the sideboard for your best of 3 gameplay, as we always do. Then we're going to go play some competitive Magic with Panda's deck here in both best of 1 and best of 3, and then we'll close out with our final thoughts on where this might be sitting in the meta. So appreciate folks tuning in. Like I said, timestamps down below, deck list down below. If you have questions or comments, let me know. Feel free to hop in the Discord server as well. Lots of great information and folks that are willing to help. And lastly, flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video, as well as other great ways to support the channel in the description. So a little bit of backstory. First off, Panda absolutely has crushed it. Thank you, Panda, for also taking me up on the challenge. Said if you made it to the top 1,500, I think you got to like top 1,300 with this variation, your variation of the deck. Found the path through the meta, going 10-1, absolutely incredible. Hitting Mythic, continuing to climb, and just crushing it with this deck. So absolutely awesome. So excited to be sharing this deck here today. A true spot in my heart. Shout out as always. And that's the thing, you guys and gals. Should you hit top 1,500, you let me know. I'd love to run your deck. As long as I haven't ran it already for the cycle, absolutely love to cover it. So again, great job, Angry Panda. So excited to share this list, and thank you for sharing with us. And folks, for those of you that don't know, huge community in the Discord server. We're getting close to 200 folks in there. Absolutely incredible. And Angry Panda posted this list, posted the stuff there, and I'll have the link as well. So thank you so much. So that's a little bit of the backstory. Angry Panda stepped up to the challenge, knocked it out of the park, and here we are today. So with that, we talked a little bit about some of the Discord statistics. Absolutely feel free to check that out. The big one today is 2,000. You folks are incredible Planeswalkers. So humbled, so thank you. I can never tell you that enough. I get up every day. This is one of my favorite things to do. I do it for you, and I love this community wholeheartedly, and I love showcasing these decks, doing the weekly meta, and doing the tier list for you today, and the collaboration stuff that we do. So thank you. Absolutely thank you. I can't say that enough. Other cool stuff. With that said, I wanted to get to this a little bit sooner. This, Angry Panda, thank you. You actually set it up perfectly for making this a very special episode. It's been crazy. I've been sick last week. You can tell I'm still kind of plugged up. 2, we're trying to move. Many of you know that. We're also blessed with a 3rd on the way. So a lot of the moving challenges fall in my hand. God bless my wife and all that she does and helping us as well. And then additionally, it is my birthday month. So for those of you that aren't in the Discord server, we have celebrated my birthday. I'm not going to tell you which date because I do believe in some personal PII, I think it's called in the tech world, but also maybe the legal world, protective information. So lots of stuff going on. 2,000 subs again. You guys are awesome, and gals. Almost 200 people in the Discord server. I will tell you, the last like 200 subs that we had, particularly the last 100, was insane. Absolutely insane growth. So thank you, everyone. Really, it's cool to see this stuff happen on a daily basis. I love doing the trend stuff. I'm a huge analytics nerd. Hopefully you see that a little bit in the weekly meta series. So just a couple of cool facts that I did want to share. Additionally, obviously a ton of global reach. So thank you to everyone around the world. This is not just like a US concentration. It's not just a Europe concentration. My love out to Brazil as always. We talk about that. So thank you everyone for that as well. Truly, I believe in that global unity and things like that. And this is always a great way to rally around things and have some fun and stay connected as a community. So thank you. So those are a couple cool things I want to share about the channel. Also, you know, I'm considering doing some statistics transparency with you and showing you guys everything too. So if that's of interest, let me know, and would be happy to do that. So Planeswalkers, enough of that. Again, final huge thank you, and other great ways for those of you that are new to support the channel. We are now going to dive into Panda's deck. Angry Panda's angry because we haven't started with his deck. So thank you, and it could be her too. So anyway, Angry Panda's top 1500 mono white aggro snow deck. So here's what we got going on, my friends. Here's the hidden secret with this deck right now. It's got an incredibly great win rate. If you haven't checked out the weekly meta, you should. It's one of the best and best of 3 right now. Panda hit it perfectly, which is awesome, and I call that threading the needle when it comes to the meta. But here's the big things that we have. My favorite thing here is if you are on the Discord channel, we do have a lot of talk around Shadow Spear, so I love seeing that Panda did it with this. Again, a lot of the traditional stuff. The biggest pickup here in Strixhaven is Elite Spellbinder. So for those of you that don't know this card, when this guy enters, we can exile a card out of that opponent's hand. It's going to cost 2 more to cast that way. There's another little trick here we'll talk about in a second. That's pretty awesome too, but very, very powerful in the 3-drop slot. Then we got the Maul of Skyclaves, we got Redain, we got Skyclave Apparition. I like the Lurrus in here to continue to get the back end value when we need to. And then obviously 24 lands. In best of 1, it's going to be high. 22 is probably a little bit better. You could add in a couple more things. But again, great list that we have today from Panda. And I love the addition of Lurrus in here to give you that opportunity to get some life gain back. But not being fully committed to life gain, and obviously being the traditional, more focused on the mono white snow aggro deck list. So strategy objective of this list: pounding through our opponents fast. We get the protection with the discard here on the Seasoned Hallowblade. We get protection with Elseed. We get the life gain back with Shadow Spear as a one-off. The big piece of this pro tip is always the number 1 there. Our opponents control lose hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. Another pro tip: stack matters. So making sure that you play this towards the end. I think if you guys and gals have watched some of my competitive Mythic play with this particular card and the qualifier stuff, or getting into qualifiers, you'll see how I talk through the importance of when to play that as well. So very, very cool things here. Again, beating down our opponents fast. This deck's going to excel well against other aggro decks. It does struggle and can be challenged the mid-range, and then big on the late game. And the mid-range stuff is really around the Izzet Prismari things right now that can be a challenge for this deck at times. Depends, depending on current lists and some of the meta stuff. The meta will show that you might have an okay chance with this deck, but something to keep an eye on. So with that, that's the strategy objective of the main board. Let's go talk about the sideboard now. We're going to break that down into 3 things: aggro, mid-range, and late game. So here's what we got going on, and all very, very popular stuff. I love Idol of Endurance. This is a key card here. I don't spend a lot of time on this. We'll talk about this a little bit more here in a second, but Glorious Protector is one of my favorite things here that I saw that Panda did that's different than a lot of things, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, and it's awesome. So one other pro tip call out that a lot of people miss: Dranith Magistrate plus Elite Spellbinder is a complete lockout on what you're pulling because they can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. So remember that. That's another pro tip. So when we break it down to aggro, it's going to be mono red, it's going to be mono white aggro, so mirror match. It's also going to be Boros Winata, Boros aggro, could be Boros Knights, could be Warriors, those things, some of the older Kaldheim stuff. And then obviously Gruul Adventures or Gruul Aggro. Gruul Aggro and Winata kind of being bridge decks for the mid-range. What are you going to line up against those? Absolutely, Glass Casket helps you. That's not a bad one to have in. And then that's probably all I would board in, actually, in my opinion. Now, Usher the Fallen isn't bad, but there's a better place for that. So that's kind of how I would line up in that space. Then as we go to, and Dranath Magistrate can help you too, potentially against Wanada's stuff, because they can't get, well, it's going to play. So we got to look at the card. So they might not be able to top deck off of that. No, I got to go check. We'll do that later. I might put that in comments. Anyway, then we go into the mid-range. So these are going to be decks like Boros Wanada, again, Gruul Aggro, like we talked about. And then also the big one right now, is it Tempo deck, or is it Prismari? Is it Prismari? Is it Dragons? Is it Spells? Whatever you want to call it. And then additionally, we have the Sacrifice deck. So if you guys watch the weekly meta, that's a big one creeping back in. We got Rakdos, we got Jund. On top of that, you have traditional mid-range, Rakdos mid-range. We got the Golgari stuff, Witherbloom, as well as the good old Pest decks. So those are all big things. They're in that space. We got to play it a little bit differently. So again, Dranath Magistrate might be a key one. Glass Casket. Again, we're kind of going to hold on these ones, in my opinion. If they have more direct kill spells and less creatures, then that's where you're going to want to start to move in Usher of the Fallen. You may want to bring an Idol of Endurance on that as well. Then last but not least, we get to the late game decks. These are going to be decks like the lovely Ultimatum decks, Teamer Turns, Sultai Emergent, and then also the good old 4-color Doom decks, Esper, other control type decks in that space as well. We got the Dimmer control deck, those kinds of things. There I begin to look at Idol of Endurance. I also look at Glorious Protector. So this is a big one. So if you're going to get hit with the Shadow's Verdict, you can flip this guy in. You can take all your cards out. You can go kill your opponent. On top of that, if they kill this guy, they kill Glorious Protector, you're going to get your whole board back in. The other thing that a lot of people forget is you can hit your Elite Spellbinder. You're going to get those triggers. You can also hit your Skyclave Apparition. You're going to get those triggers. So it's a pretty neat card. Idol of Endurance, again, as long as they're not getting rid of your graveyard, this can be a good one to flip in. This paired with Lurrus is really for Rogues, so we didn't really talk about that too much. Rogues is going to be the big one there on that space. The other thing that you're going to flip in against late game decks is Usher the Fallen. You'll pull away in terms of some of your late game drops here to move your curve up or move things out like Giant Killer as well. So what we didn't talk about is what we're going to move in, what we're going to move out. I'm always a fan of aggro moving stuff up in the curve, and then on the late game going again similar way, and making sure that your curve is a little bit quicker. Mid-range, you want to move it more towards the middle there. So Planeswalkers, that's kind of how I think about it. Again, I'm also partial to dropping 2 lands. Just my choice of how my style of play is. 24 is always healthy in best of 3. I still like 22 for a low curve 3-drop, but you can run into problems. But that's again the risk that I like to shake the dice on. So that is the strategy objective of this list. Again, if you have questions or comments, let me know. Happy to help. Hop in the Discord server, my friends, and let's go play some competitive Magic now here today and get to it. So again, huge shout out to Angry Panda for the lovely top 1500 standard ranked. Again, we did the Azorius Mage deck here. That was the one that I ran, Azorius Magecraft. This was the one that I ran for Twitch if you want to check that out. Lots of cool stuff that we're running. Today, we got Angry Panda's top 1500 deck. So again, to recap, my friends, we talked about the strategy objective of the list. We also talked about how to board. Additionally, we covered some of the fun backdrop behind this one, as well as some channel stuff. This, for me, is kind of a tough keep for a couple of reasons, but we do have this, but we don't know what our opponents have. I am going to stay on it, though, for now, and I'm actually going to play Elseed first. And that's what I figured we'd hit. So now we're okay. That's a really nice top deck for us. So we'll go here. I want to say the Selfless Savior is why. There we go. So now we'll be in a really good position here with this guy. Now they're not playing. Problem is they're not playing Snowlands, so that hurts us with the Redain. So with that, I'm actually going to go this. We need to start getting some pressure in. So next turn, depending on what we do... Oh, he's going to hard cast. There you go. We might want to keep that alive. Now, I thought about playing Maul on Redain, but we know that they're gonna... We know that they're gonna do something here. Oh, that's interesting. Not what I would have expected. I'll take the 2. Now we should have had that in, but we'll do this. So then we can tap down. We got 5 across there. Oh, not gonna go. There we go. We're good. There we go. We're good. A couple of different ways we could have played there on terms of some of those lines. I was expecting a cleave. Made the wrong play. We could have readjusted in terms of how we played. Kept holding that back, but worked out well. We had to be careful in terms of the race beatdown. Luckily, we made it through, which is good. We weren't punished. We survived. So that's always a good thing. All right, next one. Dark Inspiration for our next best of 1 here. Again, so this is a good curve that I like. I will go Selfless Savior into Season Hellblade, and hopefully they're not playing Burn. We'll find out rather quickly. Ideally, we go 1 Selfless, 2 Season, 3 Lurrus, protect the Lurrus if we need to with the Selfless Savior, but we'll see what we got going on here with what our opponent plays. We'll pitch the Giant Killer if we need to with our Hallowed Blade. Because again, we can pull it back with our Lurrus if we need to. Alright, so now we got a Lifegain deck. Probably could have attacked in, but we'll leave it as that for now. Now, we need to debate if we want to put the Maul on the Seasoned here. So we'll do this. Actually gonna strengthen my stuff here. If they keep moving Speaker up, could be aggressive. This is a hard deck against aggro though, so I'm trying to play it a little bit differently. because they'd come in for 3, we deal 5. It's not, we're only gaining 2 on the attack. So I'm hoping they keep loading up the speaker here, and then all we need to do is hit it with a giant killer, but we'll find out. Now it's going to be a problem. Couple problems. We don't have the removal that we need. So we'll block. So now we will have to go over the top. So we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. So ideally they screw up and overcommit on the Lifegain here. We need 1 land so we can get Luris in. And then keep bouncing our guy. So good news is we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. There we go. So now we're sitting in a good spot. They'll probably use L-Seed though. Oh, Mythras. There you go. Huge problem for us. Big problem. I don't know if we'll be able to come back now with the Broodmoth on the board. Might be close though. Let's see. So we got Spellbinder. We need to do this. We need to be able to attack with both. 4, 5. So we still have a tap down. We're at 11. Depends on what they hit with here. They can still gain 2, but we'll see what they use. So we want to tap this down. So that will drop Heliod. Oh yeah, because they just played the Luminarch, so they're okay there. But now they can't gain life. So they need to put it on Luminarch. Luminarch's the game winner for them there. Split the damage there. They figured it out. Now they gotta attack in though. Shoot. They had just enough devotion on Heliod. Tough matchup nonetheless. Couple things. I mean, we could have got Lurrus in there. Again, I was thinking Skyclave Apparition. That time it didn't pay off like we did. But not bad nonetheless. That's a tougher deck to beat. It's still a race. But once they get Heliod out, it becomes an issue. So let's go to our third and final best of one match here. And we'll see what we can do. Looks like an Izzet deck. We will keep this. I can turn 1 to Selfless, turn 2 into Luminarch, which I like. And then we can decide if we want to drop Redain. There's our Izzet friends. Will be Redain. All right, love it. So this is a good one for us. We'll go here. Make things a little bit tougher. And honestly, we have everything that we need here at this point. So LC, as long as they don't push anything back, we're okay. If they're running the fairies, the Brazen Borrowers, we might have some problems, but hopefully we're okay. I was gonna say, I don't know if we can hit that. Yeah, that one I didn't know about. So evade a few things. That's the evade a Crusher. L-Seed still makes it safe for us. Not going to put a counter on L-Seed. We don't need the life gain against this deck. Ooh. There you go. A little bit different Prismari deck. A little bit different. Combo deck. One turn. Do they have it? Do they have it? we are good. We are good. An awesome, awesome best of one run with Angry Panda's deck. And we took down an Izzet deck. So that one was a little bit different. That's not the Izzet Dragons deck. Or Prismari Dragons, whatever you want to call it. So, hey, look at that. There we go. We got a pack. All right, on to best of 3. This is where Panda went on a 9-1 rip. Maybe 10-1. So very, very excited. Looking forward to playing this today. So in terms of best of 1, we did go 2-1. We crushed it. We lost to a Lifegain deck. That's a tough matchup. One of my favorite things was always playing mono white, as well as mono red, obviously, when I played Lifegain. So this is going to be a great start for us. So if you guys look at this hand, we have no lands. That's right. So Shuffler's hating us. We have a late game deck, so this will be interesting. And we're really going to have to board well against this as well. So we're going to mulligan. We'll keep this. We got our Shadow Spear. I'm going to get rid of a land. Do I get rid of a land? We don't have, we do have the doubles. I'm okay with that for now. It's all right. Play that one first. Just a really bad start. It's all right though. All right, so we might be playing a Yorion Dimmer control deck. Nope, nope. They just have the snow-covered lands. That's fine. So we'll do this. Is it exile? It's not exile though. Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna make our puppy get a Shadow Spear. That's what's gonna happen. And we're missing that land. Oh. Oh, painful, huh? Alright, let's do this. Oh, please don't have a counter on that. Alright, there we go. Let's see what our friends got here. We are going to get rid of this. They have a green. So they're either going to slam me with that. Let's get rid of this thing. We'll let them keep the chariot. Doesn't attack. And ooh. And we can get this guy going. We're gonna try it. It's gonna be a race. Bit of a race here. Now we could have played L-Seed. We'll let him make a bunch of tokens. Kill spell. I don't know, we'll see. We have LC to protect Luris if we need. There we go. Ooh, nice. So yes, we will certainly do that. All right, we'll do that again. And one. We'll wait. So they can play the chariots. We'll see if they play the binding. No, they didn't play the binding. They can exile my graveyard. See what they do. Now we still have Giant Killer. We could hit the Chariot, but we don't need to. All right, so we'll do this again. We could go 2 up here. They're going to get their cycle either way. We might want to do this and then do that. Odd is gonna wipe my entire freaking board. Oh, whole thing. They're all even. All even. It's too bad. Huge bummer. Huge bummer. Again, could have maybe played that sooner. We're in trouble with the God of the Old Bindings, so we'll wait. We have our Faceless too. They're pretty close to lethal here though. Interesting. Shipwreck Dowser. All right, let's see what we draw. So they're tapped out. Not enough damage. They have lethal. They're gonna pick us off either way. We'll go to the next one. So here we need to drop in the 2/1s. We can put in Dranith. Glorious Protector helps a lot too on the top end. So we don't need the Shadow Spear in this one. We definitely need these. Skyclave Apparition has some value. I'm going to keep that off. I'm actually going to keep these off. We'll go these guys. This isn't going to help because it's exile. I don't mind throwing those in at the top end to protect my board because that was all odd. So we could have kept it. Dranith. We can't cast, so this would slow down Ultimatum. If we want to do that, I'm going to go to... do we do that? Or do we go with... might do that, and then... add in 1, 2, 3, just in case. There we go. I like that better than the Apparition, because that should allow us to protect against some of the old binding and all that. So we'll see. We'll play first. Wow. I don't know what the odds are on that, honestly. 2 in a row at 24 lands and best of 3 for an aggro deck, that's really bad. That's really bad on the shuffler. Like, incredible. All right, here we go. I'm gonna drop Dranith for now. I still can't believe that, by the way. If they kill that, I'm gonna be so sad. So sad. Wow. Incredible. They draw all the kill spells, and we get no land hands. It's alright, it's magic. It's magic, it's magic. We are going to play Redain first. Did this to slow him down over Mythras. That's why. That's why. So even when they get to 4, it's going to be slow. I can do that. So we'll wait again. Because we need to make a bunch of little ones. Because we need to be hedged against the odd wipe on the board. Could do that more. Now, if we do hit a land, I will play Lurrus. And I will go grab Luminarch if I can. My guess here is, I probably could have sacked there, but that's all right. My guess here is they have Exile, because they didn't use their Maze Mine, in which case they will get everything on my board. Ooh! They didn't look. They can gain the 4 health. So we'll attack first here. All right. We have enough if they have Exile, as long as it's not Shadow's Verdict. So we'll see. Ultimatum could get me. There you go. So we have to leave everything. Odds, so they're not gonna wipe. Because of Redain, that costs 6. So they have enough to crack and gain life if they need. We'll wait on our land. Direct kill on my Luminar gets it. Exile gets it. We would need a Snowland. Baseless save. There it is. Shoot. Very unlucky. Very, very unlucky. Very, very unlucky. They have everything now that they needed to beat me down. Our only hope here, it's not even hope, because it's not a strategy, is get a Maul, go over the top, hope that they don't play Yorion, and hope that they don't crack the Maze Mine. That's literally it. That is literally it for us. So that could have been a problem for them. Wow. Another land. Look at that. No land hands at the beginning. Let's flood you late game. That sounds like magic. Oh, friends and family. What a game. What a game. Seriously. Lucky Lux. That sounds about right for you. Seriously. Incredible. Incredible game. I have never, for the record, had 2 starting hands on Arena that were no land hands. Absolutely, truly incredible. All right, let's see what our draw is. Maybe it's another land. Oh, bummer. It's not. It's a Spellbinder. We'll play it. Oh, what a great way. Anyway, super awesome deck. Nonetheless, absolutely love it. Let's get rid of this and we'll say good game. And we will move on to bigger and better things. Angry Panda, love the deck. Unfortunate for us here today, but awesome nonetheless. We know that this is an incredible deck right now. So let's talk a little bit about that. So we'll go to our deck. Again, this was the top 1500 deck by our very own Angry Panda. Awesome thread the needle, as I said earlier, in terms of the meta. Hit it nicely, crushed it, made it to Mythic, took us up on the challenge. I love doing top 1500 videos. If you got one, shoot it my way. Love to talk about it. So anyway, on to Panda's deck here. So in best of one, we went 2-1. We did great. We hit a roadblock when it came to our lovely friends, Mono White Lifegain, one of my favorite decks, to be expected slightly, to be honest. But we did well against everything else. And then in best of three, we went 0-2 against a Sultai, Yorion ramp deck, Ultimatum deck. We didn't see Ultimatum, so maybe it was more control, but I don't think that was the case. They had answers for everything. We had mana problems. Now, granted, maybe our friend Angry Panda would have would have sideboard a little bit differently than I did, but you know what, we didn't hit anything I felt that was going to change anything in terms of that. Maybe draft magistrate, but then didn't matter too much. So in the end, where does this fit in the meta, my friends? So a few things. It's certainly a strong deck, I think, still in best of one. We saw that. I think it's important, and it's still doing very, very well in best of one aggro, and additionally in best of three aggro. If you caught the weekly meta video, you guys can check it down below, gals, as well, and see where we were last week. It's certainly top of the top right now in win rates, which positions it as the deck to beat. Boros, Winata, those things are still around as well, but this deck is certainly holding its own in terms of the win rate. Now, as a percentage of the meta, though, it's a little bit different. So where do I think this sits? Honestly, it's been a strong deck for a long time. It's still playing well in the meta. I think it's probably, top of tier 2 for both best of 1 and best of 3. I don't want to put it right away in that tier 1. Certainly, I think there's an opportunity for it to be there. Given where it's currently hitting in best of 1, you could certainly make the case for it being tier 1. And then in best of 3, slightly similar, but we look at Mono White aggro in best of 3 a little bit differently, even though it's the best highest win rate deck right now in best of 3. We haven't seen it take down any tournaments, so that's always a consideration as well. So certainly on the stronger side of the meta right now, my friends. So if you do have questions, if you have comments, let me know. Would love to hear from you. Hop in the Discord server, my friends. Again, huge shout out to Angry Panda. Love making this video today. I'm sorry I couldn't overcome the Sultai deck. It's hard to beat no land hands. So again, you let me know how often you see that. Would love to hear from you on that, but it happens, so we're not going to get too mad. We'll go on a 10-1 tear like Panda hopefully next. So with that, Planeswalkers, the other couple things I just want to say thank you again. Truly appreciate the support. 2,000 strong, almost 200 plus in the Discord server. The other thing I forgot to mention, we've done 500 plus videos. Seriously, 500 plus Magic the Gathering arena videos or Magic focused videos. So incredible. So thank you for being here with this journey. Love to see you some more. Stick around. We've got a lot of things coming your way. Top decks, weekly meta, tier lists. Until next time, Planeswalkers, we'll see you again soon. Mythras out.